FOJ 77. It's been a while, Jason. What's up?
Not a whole lot, but yeah, there's a whole lot. How are you, Joss? Things are good.
I'm good. Been traveling. I'm tired. I travel again tomorrow. So we're on the road quite a bit here the next I don't know, like 6 weeks, I guess. So nice. Yeah, lots going on. I was in Vegas. It's been like what, 2 weeks, 3 weeks since we chatted?
I think it's been 3 weeks.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
I mean, there's a lot to cover. So many things have happened.
A lot has happened in the world of sports and non-sports. Lots going on. Summertime.
There's a world outside of sports, Jason?
I'm
shocked to hear you say this.
Not in my world, but for most of the other world there is. So.
Well, where do you want to start? Because we each have kind of a list, and I think we have some overlap, but not 100% overlap.
Well, like you've got. Let's hear about your trip to Vegas.
All right, let's start with Vegas. So, yeah, Vegas for an entire week is always something. I was there from a Saturday to a Saturday. Was it like the 15th or something like that? Whatever that was, of June. For those listening in the future, it was good. Conference had a lot of like speaking type things, and frankly, a lot of notoriety coming through the other podcasts. I had lots of people come up and say hello and introduce and tell their fans. Even had a fan 3D print our logo on this little, like, it's kind of larger than a poker chip, but I'm sure I've got it here for you. But printed a bunch of these for us, and they're kind of like this very cool, like 3D thing. So I might have to get into 3D printing now that I've seen what that can do.
Yeah. I'm surprised you're not into that already, to be honest.
I've been thinking about it. It'll probably replace the TV behind me at some point because I've had kind of the same backdrop now for a couple of years.
Sure.
In my office. But yeah, I'll be honest, I'm a little bit paralyzed as to what to get because they can quickly get very expensive. And I don't want to have an errand every time I have to use it. Like I want like the iPhone of 3D printers where I can just press a button, it prints the thing, and there's not a lot of ton of maintenance on it.
Got it.
And so I'm not sure what to get. I've had a couple of people who I've talked to about it, their opinions on it, but that was cool. We did a game show. We gave away over $5,000 in prizes. To people at this conference, combination of gift certificates and one company donated a 3D printer as one of the prizes. So I was like, okay.
I was going to say, we talked about possible prizes on the last podcast. So what did you come up with?
So we basically put out a call to our sponsors and said, hey, anybody who wants to get in on this, let us know. We ended up with 10 or 11 sponsors, and most of the sponsors gave like $200 worth of something, whether it's a gift card or like an item, Bluetooth speaker, whatever it may be, headphones, noise canceling stuff, right? Things like that. I mean, cool shit, things that hopefully people wanted, stuff like that. Nice. And then a free pass to next year's conference was kind of like the donation from the conference itself. So even they got involved, which is good. It's a lot of money. It's like a $3,000 pass. So when I say $5,000, like half of that was from a pass for next year.
So it is $3,000 to get into this conference.
The standard sort of non-early bird, non-discounted is about $3,000. Yeah. Which is pretty, I would say it's probably middle of the road, I think, for conference. Really? Maybe a little bit higher than average, but not too much higher.
How many people typically attend these conferences?
This one had, I want to say 3,000, 3,500. Attendance was down a little bit, I think. I'm not sure, only because we had a lot of international folks who frankly weren't comfortable coming to the United States. And so they didn't make the trip. So we probably lost, a couple hundred there. But yeah, over 3,000.
So 3,000 people, each paying 3,000 to get in. Wow.
Yeah, and that's just not everybody's paying 3,000 because they're paying discounts or there's free tickets, things like that. So
got it.
Yeah. So if you're running a conference, you've got different avenues of income. You've got the attendees, which is really a small portion of it. That's just kind of like nothing. The sponsors are where conferences make money because then they charge for booth space, right, in the expo hall. It's the name on the lanyard, right? Registration sponsored by blah, blah, blah company, right? Lunch sponsored by blah, blah, blah company. So you come up with a whole bunch of different avenues of what do you want your advertising to be like? And based on, what the perception is of the value of that advertising is how much it costs.
Okay.
So like a booth might be 25 grand to 75 grand, maybe even more, just for the space. And then you have to pay to decorate it, right? You can either do it yourself or you can, find a company that does it for you. So yeah, there's a lot of money in that. So it's, when you're doing a large conference like this, you have to rent out the space years in advance. So it is a little bit of a gamble every time. And so I'm sure they've had the space now for 2 or 3 years. So they probably signed like a 3-year agreement to say, okay, we're going to be at Mandalay Bay and we'll do it here for the next 3 years for this price per year, whatever it may be. And then, you have to carve that price out with do you want to make money on it or not? And then, try to fill as much of the space with sponsors as much as possible. That's where most of the money comes in.
Okay. So you said you did the game show.
Yep.
Did you have any other sessions or?
Yeah. Well, we did like a game show. That was so Sunday night was like a industry meetup at a bar, kind of off site. And so there's probably 100 people there. And then Monday night was our game show and sort of like the opening of the conference itself. And sort of, we kind of kicked off the expo hall and kind of stuff like that. So we had like 50 people, maybe 75, kind of all watching us doing our thing, kind of like this giant expo hall and all playing on their phones. We had a good time. That'll be a video that'll come out for the other podcast.
Yeah.
I'm kind of bummed though, because the audio didn't work. There was too much wireless interference in the expo hall. And so my main microphones had like this pulsing static that just can't clean up. And so I had to come move to like a backup track. But it was fun, whatever. And then we recorded, 4 episodes from the show floor itself. So we had different people come in from companies, kind of sit with us and talk. Lots of people came by to just kind of watch us do our thing. And then we did actually a sponsored thing with a company, like a thing at like a, after dark type thing where, they were very nice. They made a nice donation to our nonprofit, and we in turn turned that into like a live episode in front of a studio audience.
Yeah.
In a conference room with, I think there were probably like 30 or 40 people kind of packed in this kind of little room. And we just, it's the longest episode we've ever done. And it was a lot of fun because we were kind of in the room, we were talking, and they're asking us for our thoughts and taking questions from the audience and stuff like that. It was just kind of a very cool dynamic. So
nice.
Yeah.
Sounds like a live radio show type deal.
Basically, cool. Kind of say, hey, this is how, I did a little, it's like, okay, here's what we're doing. And, the sponsor kind of kicked us off and it's like, all right, here's how it's going to work. Everybody put your phones on silent, take off your badges so you don't hear the clinking noises, right?
Yeah.
All that stuff. And so it's like, this is how we do our podcast. And, here's what we're expecting and want people to be involved. And we had a microphone that was passed around the room. So that all turned to an episode as well. Probably in August, I think at this point. I have like a very full editing queue right now. But it was fun. It was a very cool dynamic because there's a lot of like senior level people who were like, they're not like vendors for the most part. It was like people in kind of senior positions at their companies kind of coming out to watch us do our thing. And to get anybody out to do anything is great because there's so much competition at like these conferences. Like every night it's like, hey, vendor so-and-so. Yeah. Every sponsor that's invited, there's probably over 100 that are there, all have something going on every night of the week. And so it's very much cutthroat to try and say, okay, Jason, you're going to show up to our thing? You sure? Come on. Go on, right? So it was cool. I enjoyed it quite a bit.
What's your goal as far as these conferences? It's just to get in front of as many people as possible, just to, market what your guys are talking about, or just gain subscribers to the podcast, or what are you looking for? Or is it just a 100% networking type deal?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's a little bit of everything. It depends on the conference too. So this one in Vegas is the largest conference of its type in North America. So it's everything. It's networking. It's awareness that the company that I work for exists and the services we provide from a consulting, standpoint. It's really less about like getting podcast subscribers and things like that, because I think, people hear about it, and sure, we always get a bump coming off of it. It's like people just haven't heard of it and stuff like that. But, as far as the industry goes, we're pretty well known, at least for the people who are like plugged in. And so I don't know if you and I have talked about this, maybe we have, but like I think there's like 2 types of people in the workforce.
Yeah.
There's more, I think, but I'm going to focus on these two types. One is like, this is just my job.
Yeah.
And I punch in, I punch out, I do my work, I make my widget, whatever it is, and then I go home, and that's kind of just whatever. The other ones are what I call professionals. Like, they are dedicated to their craft, whatever that craft is, their industry. So I enjoy this space. I want to learn more about it. I want to be, very educated on the topic, and I want to grow and sort of, have it be a career with a path rather than just a job. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. You use the word career. That would be totally how I would differentiate the two. One has a job, the other has a career. So yeah, I think that makes total sense.
And so I think a lot of people show up at these conferences. It's probably 60-40, 70-30. The people who make a priority to either spend up to $3,000 plus travel, flights, hotels.
Yeah.
Vegas is not cheap, right? You're probably all in. You're probably spending about $5,000 per person, assuming, some level of discount on ticket, some hotel, some flight, food, right? Things like that on average. So there is an investment for it. Most companies will pay for it if they can fit it in their budget. And so, sometimes people get sent to conferences and they kind of like to do it. Some people don't want to, and they have to go. So, that's kind of where I differentiate, the people who are just, is this just a job, or are you a professional in your field? Or like you said, is this a career for you?
Sure.
And so I think most people who go to these types of conferences are career people. They're interested in a topic. They want to learn more. They want to get new ideas. They definitely want to do networking. Lots of people to meet and sort of build your network, which is always handy. when you're working, it's like you always want to know people. The more people you know, especially when something bad happens, is you've got that network to lean on. Say, hey, I'm looking for something. So if anybody hears anything, and if you've made a good impression somewhere, or they like you, chances are you get above, the hundreds, if not thousands, of applicants for every job that's out there right now.
Sure. Now, do you ever get a chance at these conferences? Because I know you do a lot of presentations and you do a lot of roundtables and, sometimes, like you said, live podcasts and stuff. Now, do you ever get the chance to kind of do the circuit, do the work the room and go see some of the other booths and essentially see, I guess, what your competition is putting out there at all? Or are you always locked into a presentation or something like that?
I am so busy at these things. Like,
I bet.
It is not a vacation. Like my entire trip was choreographed. So I was there from Saturday to Saturday. Saturday I got in late. Basically, it was my plan for Saturday night was I'm going to get in late, I'm going to get something to eat, and then I'm going to crash. That immediately went out the window when I went from Asheville to Atlanta, and I'm standing in the Atlanta airport. And all of a sudden, this guy that I know from the industry is like, hey, you're on this flight? Oh, yeah, me too. Okay, so now I'm on the clock, basically, right? So I'm in like, okay, here we go. And he's a cool guy, right? We know each other and stuff like that. But he's coming from Richmond, and he's catching out Atlanta as well. So we're on the same flight. It's like, okay, I'll see you in Vegas, right? And then, land, say, hey, do you want to grab something to eat? Sure, let's go get something to eat, right? And so immediately started. I didn't have like Saturday night to like get there and do whatever, but it was fine.
Yeah.
Very chill, kind of low key. Like if you're going to have to start something like that, was fun. So Saturday was that. And then Sunday, actually got to sleep in a little bit to like 10, just kind of catch up on time zones and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then a couple hours of booth setup. So I'm in this giant expo hall in Vegas with the doors open, no air conditioning, sweating my ass off.
Oh boy.
Erecting, this 20 by, I guess it was probably 8 foot. They call it a step and repeat banner. It's kind of like the thing you see behind a coach when they're giving a press conference and they have like the different logos, right? It's like a checkerboard pattern. So the conference gave us one of those. And so like, okay, I'm setting that up. And fortunately, we had a couple of people from my company who were there to help, especially taller people to help with the taller stuff.
Sure.
So I spent a couple hours putting that together. And then it was, okay, it's time to go to the brew dog, which is where we had like our beer thing. In addition to all of this, so I had a couple of people from my company were there. We invited this young associate who apparently is a fan of the show and kind of reached out to us. Except from like, dude, like we work together. Like you could just, hit us up on Teams, right? You don't have to like submit a contact form.
Submit a formal invite.
Yeah. So we met her, we met her Tuesday before Saturday of me going out. And the company really moved kind of like heaven and earth to say, hey, we can get you a free ticket if you ever want to go to those type of things, let us know. And she's interested in learning more. She's a recent college graduate, about a year out of school. and, is interested in AI and security and stuff like that. And the company moved heaven and earth, like, for this girl to, like, yeah, go next week and go to this conference for the entire week. Like, that just doesn't happen. But she embraced it. It was cool. So it was like, okay, come out, we'll introduce you to people, kind of get you into, meet you people in the industry. So Sunday night was the beer thing. And so it was, 100 people there. We recorded an episode at that. So I sat on the couches and met it's called Identi-Beer. And so there's a lot of, like, these chapters sort of, like, all over the world. And it's basically, like, just people in our industry who get together to meet at a bar and drink, or not really drink, but, like, meet each other, right? The beer is just kind of the facility. Me, I'm drinking Coke, so it doesn't really matter.
No, I get it.
So that was there for a couple hours. We sat on a couch, did an episode with like 9 people. My camera's set up there, and all the noise around us. Got back, and then Monday was basically meetings in the morning that I had to take care of, and then getting prepped and do our game show. And that was at like 6 p.m. Vegas time. That took about an hour. And then it was another couple hours of, just people walking by and saying hello. I stood outside the elevators Monday night of the hotel or at Mandalay for 2.5 hours. I had gone upstairs to drop my bag off with all my like recording gear from the game show. Came back downstairs and I was like, all right, I'm going to get something to eat. And I was with, this young lady from our firm that was like, all right, it's kind of like, she was like my shadow, kind of like, for part of the time, I like to introduce stuff. So, all right, let's go get something to eat, blah, blah, blah. And we basically got stuck in the elevator. And so what happens is, like, people just kind of come and go and they're walking. Like, there's the path from the conference center to the hotel elevators. And we were standing out there and, it's like 2 people walk up. Hey, how's it going? Let me introduce you to so-and-so. Hey, what's going on with you? Blah, blah, blah. And then another 2 people would show up, and then 1 or 2 people might splinter off and do their own thing. I literally was like standing there for 2.5 hours. I'm like trying to get something to eat. And it was just people kind of coming and going. It was fun. It was good. Got to meet a lot of people. But that was basically like the entire conference was like that. It was scripted stuff. And when I wasn't scripted, it was, getting stopped in the hallways or stopping other people and making introductions or catching up with people and stuff like that. So I didn't actually go to a single session until Thursday morning, the last day of the conference. And it's only half day.
So basically you get to get a taste of what it's like to be, I'm just going to call it what it is, a celebrity. Because
kind of, yeah, I hate the word, but
I know you do. But in your space, you've kind of become that. I mean, I'm sure that's not what you necessarily wanted, but it's kind of a byproduct of what you're doing. And when you've got a podcast that's rolling 2 million subscribers, but 2 million downloads, people want to talk to you. And they're, cool. to some people, you're like their, I don't know what the equivalent would be, but just you're their guy, and you're like, hey, there's the guy on the IDAC podcast. And it's very, very weird and strange. And you're absolutely right. There is like a celebrity around it, which I feel very uncomfortable with, and sort of the notoriety that comes along with it. I'm walking to get walking down the halls of this expo hall that has 100 different vendors and aisles and stuff like that. And people are like, hey, love what you do. Like, they're yelling across the thing. I'm like, oh, okay, thanks. I don't know who that was, but I just want to get a freaking burger, man.
Yeah.
That's really all I care about.
Yeah,
but
look, it's cool. It's very flattering. I try to be kind of cool with it. Like, hey, who are you? Tell me your story, right? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
So kind of be approachable and stuff like that. But it is exhausting, like those types of weeks where it's just like literally, the entire time. It's like, I don't have any time. It's like, you're up late, you're up early. And then like the entire time is like, I'm talking. I was like, I had lost my voice already started like Tuesday. And I knew I still had, 2 episodes on Wednesday and a nighttime episode on Wednesday to go. And then Thursday was like the only day that I had a chance to like attend any sessions, because nothing was on schedule until that night, which is like this sushi dinner that I've been working on. And so we had like 14 people go out for sushi afterwards, which was awesome. Other Mama, shout out to Las Vegas, Other Mama. And then, got back from that. I think people were kind of like done at that point, because the conference was officially over at like noon. We had all gone out as a big group, spent a couple $1,000s on dinner. A couple of sponsors kind of helped, with me with that cost and stuff like that. So, and then Friday was a completely off day. Like, I stayed in Vegas. I was hoping I'd be able to see my brother there, but he was actually in Nashville at the time. So I had Friday basically completely off. And so I slept in And then my wife convinced me, because I was just not do anything and just kind of slum it the day.
Yeah, sure.
And I was at Mandalay. If you know Vegas, Mandalay is like the furthest hotel south on the strip.
Yes, I knew that. Okay.
There's nothing really past that.
Yeah.
If you know me, you know my love of chicken and waffles.
Yes, I do. I know that too.
The restaurant Yardbird, which is in the Venetian, which is almost away at the north end of the strip. So it is not, I would say it's not walking distance, especially not in 100-degree Vegas heat. So I was like, I don't know if I would want to like hop in an Uber and go out there. It's like a whole thing. But my wife convinced me. It's like, all right, you should do it. You're out there. I'm like, all right. So I took like a, 15, 20 minute Uber ride.
Yeah.
To the place, get to Yardbird. It's jam packed with people. There's no seats or anything like that. I get lucky. Couples getting up from the bar. I'm like, all right. So I snag a seat almost like right away as I get in, get my chicken and waffles, which was glorious. And that was my entire Friday. Was just like chicken. It was like a 6 p.m. chicken and waffles. And then that was like, my day is done.
Yeah. I think you texted me the picture.
Yes, I did. Yeah. That was me sitting at the bar by myself, in a busy Vegas thing, enjoying my chicken and waffles and some sort of bourbon, blueberry lemonade mash type thing that I had to drink.
Well, it's probably a good thing you did that on a Friday, because had you have done that maybe on a Thursday, you had a crowd of groupies follow you down there. And,
Yeah, you know what? I would normally invite people. Like I would tell people, here's what I'm doing. You're welcome to join me if you want. If you wanted to come with me, great. And there's been a couple times where I've been to Vegas. It was like, here's my plan. On Thursday night, after the show's over, I'm going to the Venetian to get chicken and waffles. Anybody wants to go with me is more than welcome. And usually I have like 1 or 2 people, but at this time it was Friday and I was just like peopled out. And it was like, all right, like I don't want to have to deal with anything.
No, I get
and
that.
For the most part, nobody's taking a trip from the complete south end of the strip to almost the complete north end on a Friday night. Most people at that point, I think it was Juneteenth holiday, or no, it wasn't. It was something else, or maybe it was. But people were kind of off anyway on that Friday.
Yeah.
So most people had left by like Thursday night, or were leaving on Friday.
Yeah, I think if you ask most celebrities that if they didn't have to deal with that constantly, they would choose to not do that kind of thing.
What do you mean?
Deal with the public as much. I mean, I'm not saying you did it on a much smaller scale, but still, they would like to be
significantly smaller, Jay.
They would like to be able to walk down the street, take an Uber, go into the Yardbird and grab chicken and waffles and not be bothered.
Yeah.
I know you're not like Michael Jordan trying to get a pizza after a playoff game and, he can't leave his hotel room, but I think it's cool. I mean, granted, I've never done anything that warrants that kind of attention, but
you're that way though in the baseball. Your kids, the teams you coach, right? People know you.
Yeah, I do know a lot of people. But I don't get stopped. The
world famous FOJ podcast. Come on, this is how it starts.
Though that's true. And hey, ultimately, I would love to be known for the FOJ podcast, and I think we are well on our way. But I just think it's cool. I've said this before. I've always been fascinated with what you've got going and how far you've come and where you're going to go from here. I just find it fascinating. So
it's all downhill from here.
I
don't know.
Stop it. No, I'm impressed as all hell. So I think it's awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It is fun. Yeah. It's cool, slightly uncomfortable sometimes, but that's just more of a, I think, personal thing. But look, very fortunate, very lucky. Actually, the young associate Lexi, who I came with, and she was asking me questions, about career and stuff like that, and she asked me some question that was basically like, do you think it's because you worked hard, or something else? And I was like, honestly, like most of the success I think has been luck. Because there's a lot of people who work hard, but very few people get the breaks sometimes. You can work really hard your entire life and still not get the break you need to be in the right position or the right time or know the right person, things like that. So as much as I have worked hard, I equally equate it to some degree of luck.
Yeah, but I mean, give yourself some credit. I mean, sometimes you create your own luck. And I think you've done a lot of that, and you've surrounded yourself with, the right, obviously your podcast partner is the right guy for you to bounce ideas off of. And you guys have a really good dynamic within the podcast itself. And, you present really well and you ask good questions and you give detailed, solid answers. I've watched a couple of things. I have no idea what the hell you're talking about, but I have watched just to kind of gain and watch your style and watch, your partner's style and all that kind of thing, just to kind of gain some perspective, and maybe kind of try to bring it to our podcast. It was kind of interesting. I was rolling through LinkedIn and I think the other day, I think it was yesterday actually, and I saw something that you had did, and right underneath it, I saw something your brother did, Charles. He did some interview, and I watched that, and he also, again, presents really well, gives solid answers, is very detailed, but he's also personable, just like you are. I mean, he'll crack a laugh and all that kind of thing. So I think you guys are really present yourselves as very knowledgeable in your subjects, but you're also very approachable to talk to, if that makes sense. So I'm impressed. I'm impressed.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. I will tell you, I think there's people who are naturals at it and people that work on it. And then there's people who it takes a while to get there. And I think I probably fall into the latter camp. If you had told me like a decade ago that, here's what you'd be doing and the things you're up to, I'd have been like, you're crazy. And maybe that's something that comes with experience and sort of getting, comfortable in your own skin and sort of assurances, that you have in your own, whatever it is that you've got. But, some people are born with it. Some people do have to work at it. And I feel more in the latter camp, I think.
Well, I think your background,
I'll tell you what, food service is a huge,
I was just going to say, I think your background in food service and especially bartending and waiting tables, I mean, that would really bring almost anybody out of whatever shell that they may have been in at some point. Because if you're not personable in that job, you don't make any money.
Exactly. And I give a lot of credit to my Chili's years and developing sort of that I don't know if it's persona or just getting on the shell, but yeah, definitely a big part of it is you're absolutely right. And that's kind of what I tell people. It's like, I learned customer service in restaurants.
Yeah.
If people don't like you, you don't make money.
Yeah. I think everybody should work in a restaurant at some point. I'm not saying they got to make a career out of it, but at some point, I think anybody would benefit from a little time working in a restaurant for multiple reasons. So
absolutely. Thank you for your service, Jay.
Yeah, you're welcome. There's my PSA for this episode. Get your ass in a restaurant and spend some time there. So
and it's, I think, one of the jobs maybe that is less prone to AI taking it over. Although even that's not true, because I've been to a couple of restaurants since we last chatted that had one of those robot servers where they put the food on like the robot and then basically it's like a food runner. Like even this tiny little breakfast place in wherever I was, Wauwatosa or Milwaukee or whatever. I was like, really? This place has a robot that delivers food to the table?
Just make sure you don't have a whole lot of grooves on the floor. That's all I'll say.
I'm sure. Yeah. So do you know about these things? Like how they work?
Yes, okay. I do. And it doesn't shock me that restaurants are in some way moving to this, because really, if you think about it, you could get to the point where you sit down at a table. You could get to this point where you have a hostess and that's pretty much it. Hostess gives you a pager goes off. The pager tells you where to go sit. You find the table. It's got a map of the restaurant. So you go sit there. It's got the kiosk there. You place your order. When the robot comes with your food, you then put the pager on the robot, send it back, and then they go ahead and take it back to the host stand, and then everything's auto done.
I don't even think you need the host.
You may not even need the host.
You check in through a tablet.
Yeah. Maybe you check in at the tablet and it hands you something, or it gives you, you sync it up with your phone, and then it pages your phone, and then you're out. Yeah, I don't think we're all that far away from it, which is kind of sad, because that's, as cool as that sounds, it almost takes away from the personal experience.
Yeah.
So.
And that can make or break your dining experience.
No doubt about it.
Even a mediocre restaurant with excellent service, some server that you really kind of whatever, have a good time with it, or they treat you well, will elevate everything around it. Same way that a bad server will detract everything around it.
Well, what's the saying? The food brings you in, the service brings you back. So,
Yeah.
it's pretty simple. But I'm sure some places, there may be places out there that already have it that we just don't know about. So,
yeah. Well, I think Japan has like a lot of stuff, kind of more tech forward countries have stuff like that. You can get like a pizza I think it's California Pizza Kitchen has those robot vending machines that will create a pizza for you.
Oh, wow.
In the airport. And you basically
Wow.
stand there for 10 minutes while it makes your pizza and then spits out a piping hot, personal pizza for you to take to your plane.
I went to a Portillo's today with my son. We had a couple baseball games today, and then we went and grabbed lunch before he had to go to work. But I went to Portillo's today, placed the order in the kiosk, went right to the pickup counter, got my own cup, filled up my own drink. By then, food was ready. Boom, sat down. We dealt with one employee, and all she did was call the number. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yep, efficiency.
Yeah, it's pretty simple.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad Vegas was a success. That sounds awesome.
Vegas was a success, and then an entire week of birthday celebrations. And
Good.
As of today, at about 3 p.m., got home from the last of it.
Oh,
immediately lied down for 2 hours, and I was like, all right. I'm either going to go to sleep now until tomorrow, or get up for a couple hours and do some stuff. But yeah. And then I hop on a plane tomorrow at 2 or 3 or whatever it is.
Okay.
To the Chicago area for more fun and games.
Nice.
A little bit of client stuff, some funeral stuff, and then back home.
Always on the move, Jeff, I tell you.
Yep.
Well, that's good. Well, what else is going on?
Let's see. That was Vegas. The Knicks won the championship.
Yeah, how about that? Boy, I didn't think that the title would come out of the Eastern Conference.
I don't think anybody did. Everybody thought it was going to be
OKC.
Oklahoma, OKC, or I don't even think San Antonio was maybe looked at that as being that high, but I think they were okay.
I didn't realize how good the Knicks were. Now, obviously, they were rolling through the playoffs, and they swept a couple teams, and I think they have it was like 11 or 12 game winning streak. They hadn't lost a game in over a month. But I had no idea that Jalen Brunson was that good. I mean, he's now being
good, or is he a volume scorer?
I'll tell you what, he is getting all the credit.
Oh yeah, he had a great
title.
Game 5, right?
Yeah,
he basically scored half their points.
45 points, I think it was, or something like that.
And I don't want to take anything away from them, but I feel like they're a team that got hot at the exact right time.
Yeah,
they got lucky in a lot of spots. There was a couple games that the Spurs had, and they gave it to them.
True.
And then, the I don't know what they're calling it in New York, but the tip from OG at the end of that one game.
Yeah.
Was it to tie it or take the lead, whatever? Like that's luck, right? You could, again, it's kind of like going back to the idea of like, did you work hard or did you get lucky? I think it was equal parts.
Sure. Well, I think you have to have both in order to win a title.
And that luck can manifest in any ways, right? It could be the tip. It could be people just not getting injured. It could be an injury not being as severe as maybe it's made out to be, right? A ball rolls one way or the other. I mean, who knows? But, Wemby throws a pass into the back of some of his players, and the players are like just stuff like that, where it's just like, I feel like there was a couple games that the Spurs absolutely crumbled.
I would agree, but I think the series showed you that they're going to be around and they're going to be a team to deal with for quite a while.
They were. I think they're ahead of schedule. The Spurs are.
As far as the Knicks go, this is the 8th year in a row there's been a different winner. Is that right?
I'm not sure.
I think it's 8 years that they've had a different NBA title winner, and the Knicks to repeat. I don't know. I mean, they kind of.
It's good for the league, right? That's what the league wants.
It's great
want
for the
enough
league.
Parity where it's not just a couple dominant teams winning all the time.
Yeah, it's great for the league. I mean, and a guy like Jalen Brunson, who was a second-round pick, and let's be honest, most second-round picks in the NBA draft don't amount to hardly anything.
Mhm.
They're end of the bench guys. They're guys that are in the G League. They're guys that don't stay in the NBA longer than 2-3 years, or they get cut from teams and then they're just suddenly gone. So, him, I think Jokic was a second round pick. Those are two of probably the best second round picks in the history of the league.
Mhm.
So, but hey, good for them. That's what the first title. I know it's their first time to the finals in like 25 years, and I think it's their first title since the 70s. I think it was.
Yeah.
With Phil
Yeah,
Jackson on the roster.
Yeah.
So
I'm excited to see where Wemby goes from here, because I was cheering for Wemby. I kind of wanted to see what he would do in the playoffs. And man, if a couple years of experience, I think is really going to help him out quite a bit. I do think he needs to get a little bit bulkier, not too much though, but you can see how dominant he can be in a game.
Oh, 100%.
Ridiculously. I mean, you can't coach 7'4" and shooting a three and handling the ball like he does.
No, you can't. Do you think that he's the new face of the league?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think so too.
For a couple of things, not just because he's kind of a freak of nature, right? Just because of the physical gifts, but also because he seems like he's, at least the perception I've got is he's a polished off the field persona as well. He's likable. He does the right things. He's not getting into trouble, right? Things like that.
Well, I think the hype was there, and I think he has proved that the hype is real.
The hype is definitely real.
Yeah, the hype is real, and he's
huge in Europe.
Yeah, he's met every expectation of him, and like you said, you're right. They're probably a year or two ahead of schedule. Nobody thought they'd be here this quickly.
Yeah,
because this
is his third year in the league. I think it's third year.
His third year, and his best supporting casts, I think, was a rookie and another second year dude. So yeah, they've got time to grow. And I think, what is it? I forget the guy's first name, but Harper is like he's only 20, and I think Castle is 21, 22. Mm-hmm. So yeah, they're very young.
He's averaging a double-double as a career already after 3 years.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the height will do that for you, but every year he's good for 23 and 11 rebounds.
I just hope a guy like that, who's that big and that tall, is able to stay healthy.
Yeah, that's always the concern. That's why I think he needs to get a little bit bigger, because I feel like he's like, one twig snap away from being done.
Yeah, no doubt.
But the bulk might hurt the joints, right? Stuff like that. So who knows?
Yeah, can his body carry? I mean, I'm sure he weighs a lot already just because he's so damn big. But if
he's 235 pounds and he's 7'4".
So if he added, well, for a little context there, LeBron is like what, 6'9" or 6'8", and he's at his peak, he was playing at like 265, 270, but I mean, it was all muscle. Mm-hmm. But I don't think Wembanyama can put on LeBron like muscle, and I don't think his body would be able to handle it. His joints would probably be crushed.
Right.
So, if he added maybe 20 pounds, it might not be too bad, but you're right. He can't add that much, or his knees and his, probably his hips and all that stuff are just going to break down.
Yep. Yeah. LeBron is 6'9" and 250.
Okay. God, I'm seeing rumors that he might not be in LA much longer.
I don't know. It doesn't surprise me. I don't think he's in the part of his career where like he's not, I don't think he's chasing anything anymore. He went there to play with his son. Mission accomplished.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how much longer he actually plays. I can't imagine it's going to be too much longer. But
he's 41.
He's 41, but he's probably still a top, 15 player in the league at this point.
He's still putting up 20 points a game. He played 60 games this year.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And hey, the guy has played a shit ton of basketball.
1,622 games over 23 years.
And that doesn't count playoffs. That doesn't count Olympics. That doesn't, he's got to be pushing with all that, what, 18, 19, maybe 2,000 games. That's incredible.
Yeah. And in addition to all the other stuff, right? That's just games, the practices, the scrimmages, the off seasons. That's a lot of wear and tear.
Yeah, the everything.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, Jordan has always been my guy and will always be my guy, but you have to put a ton of respect on LeBron's career.
Yeah.
And I didn't used to. I didn't really appreciate his level of athleticism and his basketball. You know, I just thought he was just a stat guy who was just hanging around to just accumulate stats. But when you actually watch him play, it's like, wow, this guy still has impact.
Yeah. He's an all-around player. He's a better Scottie Pippen.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So,
which sucks to say because I'm a
Jordan
Pippen fan. But
I'm a Pip fan too.
You know, a small forward or power forward, depending on what position he's playing, that can play defense and score and kind of do it all on the court. Like that was Pippen's game. Yeah,
no doubt. And LeBron's game has evolved. I mean, I know he's still, you know, he could still go to the basket, but he's also got a jump shot. And to begin, he didn't have much of a jump shot. He was always a slasher, a dunker, all that kind of stuff. But over the years, he's developed a jump shot and still plays, you know, defense well enough. I'm not saying he's great, but, you know, 41 years old, this will be year
23.
23 in the
23
NBA?
just concluded.
Oh, okay. So next year will be year 24.
Yep.
Oof.
And he shot better the last 6 years of his career than he did from a field goal percentage than the first 6 years of his career.
That's
so you're right. He's become more efficient as a scorer.
Yeah.
Not scoring as many points, but he's more efficient. He's more accurate.
I don't think we'll ever, I know you never say never, but I don't think in our lifetime we'll see another guy like him. I'd be really surprised.
Why do you say that?
Because we've never seen, I mean, let's be honest. We've never seen a player like him before play for this long and be this good. I just don't think it's going to happen again.
Because of the longevity of the career?
Yeah. I don't think a guy in today's NBA, even though it's more 3-point shots and than anything else, it seems like, I just don't think a guy is going to be able to last that long. I mean, the guy spends like $3 million a year just maintaining his body, which is, you know, a lot. And obviously he gets a lot of help, and, you know, I'm sure he's got a whole crew of people that help keep him together, but I don't know if a lot of people are willing to do that at his age. You know, I'm sure some people would. I mean, the guy's worth, I don't know how much money, but I mean, it's probably, you know, hundreds of millions of dollars. I think at some point you would say, hey, I'm done. I don't need to do this anymore.
$1.4 billion.
Okay, he's a billionaire. And at what point do you say, you know what, I don't need to play anymore. I've accomplished everything you can accomplish in the game. I'm the all-time scoring leader. I've won titles. I know he's got other all-time stuff. I've won gold medals and for the Olympics and things like that. It's like, what else do you need to do?
What does he do after this? Like, do you think he goes into the broadcast booth or ends up on a show like, you know, NBA Tonight or whatever it is with Chuck and Shaq?
I think that's possible. I could see him owning a team. It wouldn't surprise me if the NBA either expanded or say he just, you know, jumped into ownership stake of a team. I think it's been publicized that he wants to do that. But
he has minority stakes in a few different teams. Not NBA. I don't think.
Not NBA teams, but yeah,
other sports.
I could see him being like a Magic Johnson type guy who's got ownership stakes in a lot of different teams, but in different leagues and in different businesses. I think you'll still see his name quite frequently, I think.
Yeah. I think he's a basketball lifer.
Yeah.
You can't play 23 plus seasons
and then just shut it off.
A basketball lifer at that point. Yeah.
then just shut it off.
Exactly.
I mean, the dude's been the chosen one since he was probably a freshman in high school.
Yep.
So
yeah, I mean, how weird is it to see an entire career like that?
yeah,
I mean, we're old, man. To watch.
I know.
Remember him being in high school, and then to see him retire. That'll be a sad day for some of us.
Yeah, like holy crap, we remember when that guy was drafted out of high school, and here he is, 41, 42 years old, still out there doing it.
Dude looked 30 when he was in high school.
I know.
I don't know what's going on.
Yes, he did.
Yeah. Let's see what else. Knicks won. Bulls draft, picked up a couple of players, I guess. ESPN gave them the B+. I don't really know who they got, but.
So they drafted Caleb Wilson, number 4, out of North Carolina, who some say might be the guy with the highest ceiling in the draft. Good all-around player, except doesn't quite have a three-point shot just yet. But because he's been playing inside a lot. But he's more of a slasher, more of a rebounder, plays good defense. I know all the experts were like, okay, the Bulls at number 4, this is who they need to pick, and that's who they picked. All I'm hoping for is that he's better than their last number 4 pick that they had, which was Patrick Williams. So, and then they picked up, Dailyn Swain from the University of Texas, who's a guard at number 15, who also had a very good college career, averaged like 18, 19 points a game, and projects to make the team and get minutes as a rookie. So that's good. I think they got 2 impact players. Now they had 2 second-round picks that they traded both away for, they sent the 38th pick to the Pacers for a guy named Cam Jones, like a second-year guard. And then they sent the 56th pick to the Lakers for cash. And basically they came out and said, there wasn't really anybody that we liked at that point to well enough to draft. And these transactions were on the table, so we just took them. And then they were also involved, I think it was either a day or 2 days before the draft, in a 3-way deal with the Timberwolves and the Nets, and they wound up with center Nick Claxton. And that also sent Julius Randle to Brooklyn out of Minnesota, plus a late first-round pick in the draft. And then the Bulls sent a guy who I never knew they even had and who I've never even heard of. So I think, was his name Mo Goye, or I don't know, the forward end of the roster. I don't know whether
not going to work here anymore.
No, pretty much. But they sent him to Minnesota, so they wind up with Claxton.
Is Claxton any good? I don't know him.
He's got to be worth something. Player? I mean, he makes $23 million a year, so and NBA. I mean, it's kind of middle of the road.
You can ride the bench and make $20 million a year.
Yeah, exactly. But so you're looking at a new starting front court of Caleb Wilson, Modest Buzelis, and Nick Claxton. So that's where they're at. They got a new GM. What is his name? Bryce something. I forget his name. And then they picked up a new head coach. What's his name? Tiago Splitter, who was the interim head coach in Portland, who is, I guess, pretty highly regarded, because I guess when he took over the Portland job, when Chauncey Billups decided to go play poker one too many times, Splitter kind of brought the Trailblazers out of nowhere and got them into the playoffs without a real significant piece on the roster. So he's pretty highly regarded. I know the city of Chicago is pretty excited for these two, and they were excited about Caleb Wilson. Dailyn Swain is just kind of, we'll see. But I think the Chicago Bulls fan is liking the direction that the team has gone so far. So we'll see.
Is it full rebuild mode?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Of course it is. That's what Chicago does. We rebuild.
It's our specialty.
I know.
They do say, right, the two seasons in Chicago are winter and construction, and
that's right.
Why not for the basketball team as well?
But hey, if the draft experts gave them a B+, then I think you got to be happy with that.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. I will tell you, I'm going to do my part and not buy NBA League Pass again, because that was a waste of money.
Yeah. Yeah, it sucks, because I know we talked about this last time, but it's going to be a lot different, obviously, without Stacey King on the call. So hopefully they are able to fill his shoes with somebody who's decent and can make the games entertaining. Because I still think the Bulls are in for another year of mediocrity.
They're going to need a hype person to keep fans interested.
Yeah, and Stacey was the guy, and now he's no longer here, unfortunately. So yeah, that's going to be a struggle.
I know it's still somewhat fresh, but is there like rumors or discussions of like who that might be? Or has it been kind of radio silent?
It's been radio silence. They mostly just, anytime he comes up, it's okay. We're remembering Stacey. I mean, there's options. I mean, you could take Bill Wennington off the radio because he's their radio guy, color commentator, and maybe move him to TV. I could see Will Perdue because he does a lot of analysis for them. Kendall Gill.
But I don't see him as like a color guy.
Maybe not. The Will Perdue is very knowledgeable about the game. I just don't know if he's got enough personality
like the hype. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't have the hot sauce.
No, he does not. There's Kendall Gill. Who knows?
You think they keep it in the Bears family though, or they get someone from the outside?
I think if they're smart, they try and get somebody with ties to the Bulls. Mm-hmm. I think that would make sense. But, depending on with the options that are available, Bill Wennington, I think would be fine because he does really well in the radio and he's actually has personality, but he also knows the game. So we'll see.
Who would you want to see? Is that your pick, Wennington? Or is there somebody else you're like, I'd like to see him?
No, if I had a choice based on who's associated with Bulls basketball, I think Bill Wennington would be who I would pick. But, I don't know who's, if they grab somebody off the street, I don't know who would be out there.
Yeah, somebody with Bulls ties and has a personality to be able to be the color person.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
So, but yeah, it should be, they at least are worth, I think they're worth paying attention to. So, could be different. I mean, it's just exciting. They have a new coach, new GM, decent draft picks, front office that seems to want to do something and not just have a shitty ass roster and hopefully not just compete to get into the play-in and then go from there. So
I'm looking up on Calcie to see if there is a market for this.
I'm sure there is.
But I've seen, as I was Googling around, Kendall Gill and Wennington were the two names that were coming up most often.
Kendall Gill does a lot of their pre and post game on CHSN, and he's pretty good. So we'll see. God, I remember. Here, want to talk old? I remember when Kendall Gill was in college and played for the Illini.
He was a good player. Very athletic.
Yeah. Oh, God, yeah. God, yes. So.
All right. Let's see what else is on my list. Oh, well, World Cup soccer. I've watched a lot of soccer.
Really?
Over the last couple of weeks, I've definitely seen more matches than I have in the previous 4 years. Part of it is, I think, obviously Team USA is doing well, so that's always exciting. But just in general, watching it, I can tell you 4K on YouTube TV, watching like soccer is great.
I'll admit, I'm not the biggest MLS fan, Major League Soccer. Me
neither.
You and I have talked. I'll watch anything. I'll watch any sport there is. I almost talked my wife into watching pro wiffle ball a couple hours ago. But she wouldn't.
So I did see that.
But she wouldn't do it.
I was like, I turned it on more out of curiosity. Like, really?
Yeah.
So I've noticed on the Ocho, ESPN 8, whatever that programming comes on, I've seen wiffle ball and I've seen kickball.
Yes.
Come on recently. I'm like, what is going on here? And this is great. I love it.
Yeah, pretty wild. But I will tell you, I love World Cup. I think World Cup
is great. Look, it's one of those things where it's a world event. Almost every country has a team playing, and it brings people together.
Every game is sold out. Yep. Every fan base.
I don't know if they're sold. I guess technically they're sold out, but I know ticket prices have been a real problem.
Yeah, ticket prices
as well as empty seats at some of these places too.
But the fan bases are absolutely nuts for their teams, which is just awesome. Like I heard the fan base of Scotland totally drank the city of Boston out of beer.
Which is awesome.
Which is awesome. I mean, God, there was a game, I forget who they were playing, but it was Morocco playing somebody, and there was just thousands of Morocco fans, and I saw thousands of fans from the Ivory Coast, and it's like, where do these people freaking come from, and how can they all afford to get over here and watch this stuff? But yeah, it is cool. Although, all right, and Team USA is doing well. I think it was the first time since like 1930 that they had clinched advancing after only 2 games, which is pretty awesome. But how the hell did they give up a goal?
I know.
In the 98th minute of their third game. Now I know that because they had already clinched, they changed out like 9 guys from their starting lineup, and I get that. You know, you play some of your guys, get them some exposure, things like that. But did you watch the game? Did you watch the last play? So how does that pass get from one end through 1, 2, 3 defenders, and then just a tap in from at the 98th freaking minute? I was like, oh my God, that is a soul killer, man. But
work hard and luck. Again, all the different permutations and parallel universes, right? Where any number of those legs and feet and, spin on the ball, the wind.
Yeah.
Again, luck.
Work hard and luck is our theme this evening. And I also learned, and I didn't know this, that the country of Turkey is now referred to as Turkey. Yeah. which I found interesting.
Yeah. Look, the World Cup has been amazing to watch.
Yeah.
I think the games have been, they are what they are. There are so many different, sub stories, through all these teams that have they've never done this before and the first time. And even the teams that didn't make it past, make it into the knockout round, there were still teams they've never won a game before and they finally won a game, or they've never even scored a goal in a World Cup and they finally scored a goal. Right. And so there's all these different cool stories around all that stuff. And it was cool to see all the different fans from all these different countries taking over cities and having a great time and enjoying it. I don't know if you realize how much ranch dressing has raised its profile because of this German tourist who was Instagramming everything and become super followed. But the TSA put out a thing on Twitter or whatever that was if you're packing ranch dressing, make sure you put it in your checked luggage and not in your carry-on.
Oh my God, that's hilarious!
You haven't heard about this?
No, I did not hear about the increase in the demand for ranch dressing.
Yeah, Europeans are discovering American ranch dressing.
How about
Who would have thought? That's the thing that unites us.
Wow,
it's just the world leaders that have a problem. The people, we all get along fine.
Oh heck yeah, man! No, it's cool.
Yeah.
So what is it? So the U.S. plays, I think, the round of 32? I think it's on Wednesday.
Wednesday night, 8 p.m. I'm not sure if that's what time zone it is, but USA versus Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Yeah, I think the game is in Santa Clara, California, I believe.
I don't know, but I'm on Calshi right now to look and see.
So that tells me that they would be playing in the stadium of your San Francisco 49ers. Most likely.
If that is correct, yes. And right now, at least, USA has an 83% chance to move forward if the Calci market is correct.
All right. Well, yeah. Well, I will definitely be tuned in for that. World Cup's cool, man. I love international competition. I think we've talked about that with the Olympics and all that kind of stuff, but just the stadiums with, 69,000 people singing Living on a Prayer. Singing Living on a Prayer during what do they call it? The water break or the
hydration break.
Hydration break, excuse me.
Come on, it's a commercial break, let's be honest. And so I get it. Hydration break. It's hot in some of these stadiums and the locations that they're playing, and so they need to do something for player safety. I get it. And they have to do it for everybody because it can't be. But the cynic in me is this is absolutely the beginning of the end for what makes watching soccer so great is 45 plus minutes of no ads, taking over the screen and breaking up the action. And it's a bummer. Every time they have a tradition week, I don't know if you watch the games, right? You have it on. the crowd boos.
Yes, because it's kind of twofold, right? It's
Yep.
it's the commercialization of the game, and
And
it's
it breaks
also
the flow and the momentum.
and it's also the wussification of the game. Because the other part is these soccer players are such, fine-tuned athletes that they can go this long and run and jog and hats off to the officials. How those guys get up and down the field is unbelievable.
The pitch, sir. Let's call it by
Excuse me, the pitch.
proper
Yes,
name.
that's correct.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's unreal. But yeah,
it's cardio.
The hydration break is
the hydration. I get it. I mean, it's hot and it's like the hottest whatever. And I don't know if you've looked at the weather forecast, but it's like anything east of the Mississippi in the U.S. is like red. It's just crazy hot.
We're 90s all week this week, so that'll be fun.
Yeah, which sucks because I'll be there. But even like Europe and France is really, I mean, people are dying because it's so hot over there. And France especially they're a culture, I guess, that doesn't do a lot of air conditioning.
Okay.
Like they rely on, open doors and fans and things like that. And that is really sucky for them. And that's part of the reason why I always make sure that my room has air conditioning. But it's been brutal heat. They're playing all over, I guess, North America. And so I get it. I hope it doesn't become a regular thing, but I feel like it's one of those slippery slopes. Like, oh, it was fine in the World Cup. Now let's start adding hydration breaks to all games.
Yeah.
And that's the great thing about watching a soccer match is it's uninterrupted for 45 plus minutes.
Yeah, I enjoy it. Those dudes give it their all for when they're out there, and they are some of the best athletes going. It's fun. It's cool.
Yeah. The other thing too is I hate the flopping. They've got to do something about that. I saw one guy to get a yellow card for faking the flop, which I was like, okay, good. Like we need to see more of that. But every time there's a slide tackle or something, you'd think that they're going to have to amputate this guy's leg. Like it is
somebody's
ridiculous.
about to die.
Right. And it's so hard to take these players seriously when like you breathe at them and they fall over. Like Ronaldo had a crazy stupid one last night where player fell next to him and he all of a sudden goes down in a heap. Like he didn't even get touched.
Jeez. Maybe that's how they take little breaks during the games. They
they're playing for it's the NBA, but worse.
Yeah.
Like you're trying to draw a foul, you're trying to get a free kick, blah, 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 right? Especially if you're in the penalty box. That's where everybody, it has to go into surgery anytime they get touched.
Yeah, but you are watching history unfold at the World Cup because what's his name? Lionel Messi.
Yep.
39 years old, is now the all-time leading scorer in the World Cup. I think he's got 18 goals? And
a lot.
Yeah, and he has scored in 7 consecutive World Cup games.
Mm-hmm. I think Cristiano Ronaldo is at 6.
Okay, so there you go.
Yeah.
So 39 still playing this game at a high level. Again, I don't know if it's quite LeBron-like, but for soccer, it's pretty damn good.
Oh, for sure. There's a player on Croatia that I remember seeing 4 years ago. I was like, oh, this is pretty good. And he's back again. He's still really good. I don't know his name. I think it starts with an M.
Okay.
But another one of those like, okay, as a casual soccer fan, definitely not following anything actively. I was like, okay, I recognize that guy. I recognize this guy, right? That kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, obviously he did something to, allow you to remember him. So
yeah. He's got great hair too. It's kind of like,
is it the blonde? Is it the blonde dude with the ponytail that he's got going on? You know what I'm talking about, right? There's a guy who's got like jet blonde hair that's pulled back in a ponytail, and the guy is enormous. He's just built.
No, it's Luka.
I don't even know what the guy's name is. Okay, I don't know what the guy I'm talking about.
AC Milan midfielder.
Okay,
and I just remember seeing him last time at the World Cup, and he's just a scrappy good player, right time, right place. One of those guys that kind of does everything, plays defense, plays offense.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know why that popped into my head, but I was like, I recognize that guy. But I've enjoyed it quite a bit. I will continue to watch it.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's great for the U.S. obviously, and being able to like drive more interest into it. Considering soccer is the world's #1 sport, it still has a long ways to go here in the U.S.
It's football.
Yes,
real
you're
football.
right. If we're going to call it pitch, we're going to call it football.
That's right. But yeah, hopefully the U.S. continues to do well. There is they were saying there is a path for them to get to the final. So we'll see.
Yeah. Well, if Kalshi's right, they should beat Bosnia. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's one and done now. So we'll see.
Yep. So let me see. I'm trying to see like who they think is going to win.
Well, what is it? Who are the powerhouses usually?
There's no market yet for that, but
I know
there's already money on Canada.
Really?
Yeah.
Because usually the teams that are good,
which doesn't make sense because they just got in today,
are Argentina, Brazil. I think Germany's usually pretty good. I think
Germany's favored.
Italy's usually pretty good, and I think France is usually pretty.
France is favored as well. So here's who's favored for the round of 32, which is what we're going into now. I think, right?
Okay.
It's Germany, France, Netherlands, and Morocco are at 60-40, so that's kind of a toss up. Portugal at 71. What is ESP? Is that Spain? Yeah, Spain.
Yeah.
Is favored. USA, Brazil, Norway, Mexico, England, Argentina, and Colombia. That Argentina-Colombia game the other night was fantastic.
So who do you got? Who's your dark horse? Who's your Cinderella here?
I mean, it's got to be the U.S.
Okay.
Like, I think they would absolutely be a Cinderella team if they go from like nothing, almost 100 years of ineptitude.
Yeah, you're
to
right.
Being decent. Yeah, like they would be the story. I think I don't know enough about these other teams, but just knowing that the men's national team has been not successful for a very long time and been completely overshadowed by the women's team.
Yeah, they have. That's very true. I'm with you on the U.S. I just think it'd be cool to see a team like a Morocco just advance.
Yeah, small country
that,
Mexico would be fun.
Yeah. I don't know if any of the African countries besides Morocco moved on, but, just to see a country like that maybe win a game or two in the brackets, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah, good times. But yeah, watching in 4K without the breaks.
Nice.
A lot of fun.
Yeah, cool.
What else? Bears?
Not much going on with the Bears, man.
Nothing on like what's going on with the stadium. Like, I'm coming up there. Do I need to have some meetings?
You want to go talk to Kevin Warren? You can. There's still not a whole
Hammond
lot.
Still the thing? Or is there a secret back dealing going on here?
Hammond is still the thing, but it's not a complete signed, sealed, delivered deal. So I still think it's up in the air. I still think Arlington Heights has a chance to reemerge. There's another town, and I forget the town, and I apologize, but another Chicago suburb threw their hat in the ring and said that they would be able to handle the stadium and give them the property tax deal that they need. And I forget what town it is. I don't know if it's like, it's like Robbins or, one of the small towns. It's like at 55 and 294, said that they could do it. And it's like, where the hell have you been for like the past 2 years as this stuff's going on? So I don't know if they just dreamt this up out of nowhere or what's going on, but yeah, there's nothing new to report on it, to be honest with you. So
about a month ago, as of June 5th, Kalshi market was 64, let's call it 65% Indiana is where they're going.
Yeah.
Fast forward to today, and it's now 56% Illinois, some new location in Illinois. And Indiana has dropped to a little bit less than 40%.
I wonder. So you said some new location. I wonder if that's the location that I'm referring to.
The choices are a new location in Illinois, Indiana, do not relocate or announce a relocation or move to Iowa, which is less than 1%. And basically, as of right now, a new location is at 56%, Indiana's at 40%, and do not relocate is at 5%.
Move to Iowa. Where are they going to go? The Field of Dreams?
Right, yeah.
Go play in the cornfields?
Yeah. So if you put $5 down and said they're going to be in Illinois, you will win. You have a 59% chance to win $8.51. So you'll win $3.51.
I'm going to pass because, as we've discussed, I've changed my retirement plan. So we're out of the gambling, which I'm really happy about, and I'm not going to get back in it. Yeah. So we're done with that. So
okay. All right. Well, we'll see what happens, I guess, with them. Did you also see that Caleb's Iceman trademark was denied?
Yes, I did see that.
I think we talked about that, but I was like, yeah, that's going to be a tough one to win. So now we got to start coming up with different. And we talked about this in, I think, our last episode. It was like, what is his nickname now?
Well, here's okay.
The cold shoulder.
Wow. The score the day after Caleb Wilson was drafted really struggled with Caleb Wilson versus Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
And so now we've got these young stars in Chicago of Caleb Wilson, Caleb Williams, Connor Bedard, Colson Montgomery. We've got all these guys with the letter, the name starting with C. And it's just kind of interesting, and Cubs have Crow Armstrong. I know it's Pete Crow Armstrong, so maybe he has fallen into that. But the score really struggled between Caleb Williams and Caleb Wilson, and their hosts actually were trying to talk about Caleb Wilson, and every once in a while they would spit out Caleb Williams just because it's so weird. So what they did, and this is kind of corny, but they are now referring to Caleb Wilson right now as Mr. Wilson, as in Mr. Wilson from Dennis the Menace.
That's stupid.
It is stupid. It's like, just get your shit together and understand your players. Yeah. But that was their solution in the short term. I think it was more of that. It was more of a,
and it's stupid and it sucks.
Yeah, it was more of a shtick thing or whatever. But I thought it was kind of dumb too. And
that's a bunch of old guys. If that's their reference is Mr. Wilson with.
I know. And what sucks is it's the midday show. And I'll be honest with you, I hate the midday show on the score, but because I hate it, I still listen to it because I laugh at it. But it's the Howard Stern thing. It's like people who hate it listen to it more than the people who like it. So, I can't get enough. But yeah, it was kind of dumb.
Well, I'm a strong believer that you cannot choose your own nickname.
I agree.
You have to be given to. That's the rule.
I agree. So I agree with that.
Let's just call them by their names until something surfaces. And you know what? Maybe nothing ever, surfaces, and that's fine.
Hey, maybe he just is known. Hopefully, he just becomes known as Caleb. And when you say the name Caleb,
if you go by first name, you'll know exactly what you're talking about.
You'll know I mean, let's be honest. When for the longest time you said the name Michael, you knew damn well who you were talking about.
Still do.
Yes. Yeah, 100%. At least in this town, you do. So, if Caleb wins the Super Bowl or two, he'll probably reach that.
Somebody will come up with something, and it'll end up. But patience, Caleb. You have to be. It has to be given to you. This is not something that you can go and manifest and create yourself.
I agree.
I guess because you could manifest it, but it's through your play and through your actions. That's what gets you your nickname.
I agree.
I saw something on ESPN about the, what was it? It was called the ESPN rankings for wide receiver, tight end, and running back groups for 2026. Did you see this?
I did not.
Where do you think the Bears are ranked at?
Ooh.
For wide receiver, tight end, and running back.
So basically skill position without the quarterback.
Skill position is at the quarterback, and it is only their on-field performance. Doesn't count about like contracts or anything like that.
I'm gonna guess they're pretty high.
What's high to you?
High meaning high to the best, not high to the worst. I'm gonna say they're number 6.
Number 6. That is very optimistic. ESPN has them at 15.
Really?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, let's talk about this. So They lose DJ Moore.
Mm-hmm.
They get a full 17 games of Colston Loveland, because as you recall, he didn't do much the first 3 or 4 games of the year.
Mm-hmm.
They get a full 17 games of Luther Burden, because again, if you recall, he didn't do much the first 3 or 4 games of the year. And I think Loveland actually missed a couple games due to injury. But Dunze missed some games due to injury.
Mm-hmm.
So this is assuming everybody's healthy. I think
injuries do play some part into it, but
okay.
Let's assume Odunze is healthy for this coming year.
Yeah. Okay. So and then you have Odunze, you've got Burden. They really like the guy that they drafted. Apparently he was a bit, not necessarily a surprise, but
Xavier Thomas.
Yes, but he was this guy's for real in minicamp. And then you've got Colson, you've got Cole Kmet, and then DeAndre Swift and Manungai. Yeah, I think 15's too low. I'm sorry. What do you think?
I think they have to prove it on the field. So here's kind of like the reason why that they're taking points away.
Okay.
Odunze's injury last year kept him from making a second-year leap. Many expected.
That's fair.
Getting rid of DJ Moore hurts. Like him or not, he's a very good receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Replacing Moore and Zacchaeus with Khalif Raymond and third-round pick Xavier Thomas is likely a step backwards.
It's a gamble.
We'll see what happens there. And DeAndre Swift had his best year as a pro last year. Well, is he going to repeat that?
I honestly don't think there's a reason to believe that he wouldn't, assuming he stays healthy.
But they've also had changes on the offensive line compared to last year, which contributed to success. So I can kind of see it. It reads to me as like they could go either way. They could either be really bad or they could be really good. They have to get on the field and see which one they are.
I'm optimistic. I'm gonna lean towards the very good. I think Odunze makes the step. But I do think Burden becomes their best receiver. I think that guy has got potential through the roof, personally. And I also think Loveland, within the next 3 or 4 years, becomes the NFL's best tight end. I think that guy's got Travis Kelce written all over him, honestly. So, yeah. He's not.
Well, you said it, right? He had a slow first couple months, and then.
But then they discovered
great.
Yeah, they discovered what he's capable of, and finally got on board with it, and said, "We're going to feed this guy." And Loveland did not disappoint at all.
And I'm okay with that. He's a rookie. Like he's going to his second year. It takes time to acclimate, get to game speed, learn stuff. I mean, Cole Kmet is not a bad player.
No, they're not the same.
Yeah, So we'll see. I think the rating is fine. They're 15th. Let's see. They have so many young players that have not had a lot of playing time that we all hope are good. And if they are, then they're going to look back and say, oh, yeah, they should have been rated higher. But you don't know that because there isn't enough experience and tape to watch.
That's fair.
So for 20... So, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, so this year they're ranked 15th. Last year they were ranked 25th.
Yeah, I mean...
And the year before that, they were ranked 6th. So in 2024, they were the 6th ranked skill position players.
I think that... I think they have the potential to be number 6. They may have the potential to be more. I think, and a lot of it, honest to God, depends on the year Caleb has.
Yeah.
Obviously. So,
the year Caleb has is going to depend on how the offensive line plays.
Yeah.
Which is going to impact everyone else downstream. Yeah.
Yeah. And, obviously the running game comes into play for that. So it all kind of goes together, obviously. So
here's number 1, Detroit Lions.
That's
number 2 is the Rams.
Yeah.
Number 3 is the Bengals.
But again, the Rams, it depends on Nakua.
It does. But he was there last year.
Yeah.
And if, let's assume he's got his off the field stuff figured out. But yeah, Rams, Bengals, the Falcons at number 4, the Niners at number 5.
The Falcons at 4. Well, Bijan Robinson, Drake
London, Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, and I think quarterback is obviously the thing there.
Yeah.
For them.
And I would say quarterback's the thing for Cincinnati because Burrow, as good as he is, when he's hurt and he gets hurt a lot, they suck.
Yeah, they got to figure that one out. That's typical Cincinnati. Like, a couple of good players and then the shit just goes sideways. Niners are number 5.
Okay.
And then number 6 is the Cardinals.
Okay, well, they've got
Marvin Harrison.
But who's the running back? Who's the tight end? The tight end is good. I forget his name, but yeah.
Yeah. Algier.
Yeah, and I think.
And then James Conner is a good running back. Trey McBride is the tight end.
McBride's the guy who I was thinking of. But again, it's going to depend on the quarterback.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Algier is like the running back counter with Conner.
Yeah, okay.
But, ESPN has a number 6, Cowboys at number 7, Vikings at 8, Eagles at 9, and the Patriots at 10.
Yeah, I mean, you can't argue against any of those, honestly. But I still think that you can make an argument for the Bears to be in the top 10. Maybe 6 is a little high, but I think they would sneak in. I think they compare to the lower level teams on that list. I wouldn't.
I think we want them to compare.
We do, but I think
we also have to every team is like that. Like every team has oh yeah, this guy's going to be good next year, and boy, he just needs more playing time, and let's settle on the field. You know what? Go catch passes and go catch touchdowns.
I'm confident that they will prove to be amongst that group by the end of the year.
The lowest ranked is the Miami Dolphins.
Makes sense. I couldn't name one player off that group right now.
Devon Achane is the last one left.
Yeah.
From the last couple of years. Let's see. Giants are 31. Browns are 30. The Bills are number 29.
And they added,
which is surprising considering they've added DJ Moore.
I'm surprised. Honestly, I'm surprised the Giants are that low, considering that they have neighbors.
But he has also been hurt.
I know. And you said they are basing it on last year, and Scadaboo was hurt, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Scadaboo had a bad injury.
Yeah, he did. So I guess that makes sense. I keep forgetting that they took last year into consideration.
Yeah, I think part of it is just injury track record, and if they're going to be available for this year, we'll see.
That's fair.
Let's see, Browns, Bills. Bills being this low surprises me, considering what they need to do is surround Josh Allen with these position players. Mm-hmm. They got James Cook, who's awesome. I think DJ Moore will have a resurgent year there.
Yeah, who's the receiver that they had? Was it
Keon Coleman, Khalil Shakir?
Yeah, Shakir is who I'm thinking of. And those guys weren't bad.
No.
And I don't remember who the tight end was. So no, I think DJ Moore is primed for a really good year with Josh Allen.
Yeah. So the question is, and this is, I'll just read this. For all the Bills are spending at receiver, the same question still lingers. If Allen needs to throw for a first down to win a game, who should he trust to get open? Every team ranked above the Bills has at least one receiver that fans would bring up as an obvious answer for their quarterback. The Bills somehow do not. I mean, it seems to me like that would be DJ Moore, but I guess with him being new to the team.
Yeah, maybe they just don't.
And DJ does take plays off and does drop passes too.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
We'll see. Let's see what else is on my list. I have a trivia for you on which singers have the biggest vocabularies. Do you have more sports stuff?
I do, but let's take a break. Let's do this.
Okay. This is courtesy of Reddit.
So vocabulary. So expand on that. Tell me, what do you mean there?
Okay. So this is the unique words in their lyrics per 1,000 words. So think of it as, you're not using the same words over and over and over again in a song. You have a wide vocabulary, and so
you're not saying a Macarena 20 times in the song.
Right?
Is that
yeah,
what we're
exactly.
okay.
Right. Yeah. And you're not like using like the simple rhymes, right? And things like that.
Yeah.
So basically it's every 1,000 words, how many unique words are you using?
I can't believe there's even somebody keeping track of this. Although probably
it's the internet, and
yeah,
sure.
Wow. Oh man.
And so there's a list of legends and modern stars.
Okay, are these people I would know?
There's definitely names in here that you would know.
Okay. All genres, like
yes. Yes, definitely all genres.
Wow. I'm just gonna throw Metallica out there because I think all their songs are different.
So I don't think it is by band. So I've got to find, and it's not a text list. I got to look it over and see if I can find, I guess, Hetfield on this list. I don't see him.
So it's singer.
It's singer, yeah.
Oh, okay. Madonna.
Now this is time I wish I had some sort of visual search to find this. You know what? I'm going to drop this into my handy dandy AI.
There you go.
And let's see what Claude does with this. I used a lot of Claude earlier, so hopefully my my usage has reset enough to be able to parse this. So tell me a story while I'm trying to come up with a better way to do this. And I will also scan, but let me get this started.
Okay, well, while you're doing this, because I'm gonna go through it real quick because this is how sports radio does it. So we had the Bulls draft this week. We also had the Blackhawks draft this week.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Okay, so real quick, Kyle Davidson, their GM, shocked everybody in Chicago by trading away the number 4 overall pick. People were up in arms. Hawks fans were like, what the hell? Fire Kyle. He sucks. The rebuild's never going to end. Where's the winger for Bedard that they need help with? All that kind of stuff. So he traded the number 4 pick away for a defenseman by the name of Bowen Byram from Buffalo, who's 25 years old, had 42 points last year, including 11 goals, has already won a Stanley Cup in his short career, and will probably become the Blackhawks' best defenseman immediately. How does it help Bedard? He now becomes the number 1 defender on the power play, which Bedard is obviously on. So that's kind of how he helps. Reason they made this trade is because San Jose made a deal where they picked up the 9th pick. They also had the 2nd pick in the draft, and San Jose badly needed defense. So that was going to allow a prospect by the name of Ivar Stenberg from, I believe he's from Sweden, to potentially fall to the Blackhawks at 4. Okay. Which the Blackhawks were banking on. The day before Davidson makes this deal, San Jose makes a deal to acquire the 9th pick in the draft. And San Jose then, based on what the Hawks figured would happen, then said, okay, we can get our defenseman, because there were a bunch of them available. We can get our defenseman at 9. We could pick Stenberg at 2. Now, they weren't going to do that before they made that deal, but when they gathered their 2nd top 10 pick, they decided to do that. So Hawks decided they weren't going to draft a defenseman. They didn't want to do that. They'd rather trade for an established defenseman, which I'm glad they did, because now they're trying to accumulate some players that are ready to play right now, as opposed to just keep developing guys and, playing young dudes and things like that. So I actually liked the deal. At first, I hated it at the surface, but once I did some research and listened to some interviews on it, it made total sense to me. They also picked up Jordan Greenway, who's kind of a bruiser from Buffalo, and they gave away one of their 3 second-round picks, the worst of the 3, which was 45, and they gave up a defenseman, Louis Crevier, which sucks because he was actually pretty good. He's 6'8", and in hockey, you can't teach 6'8". So just a huge guy.
He's the Wemby of hockey.
Yeah, pretty much. So they didn't draft a player until the 2nd round, pick 34. They picked a defenseman, Xavier Villeneuve from, I don't know where the hell he's from, but supposedly one of the top 10 defensemen in the draft potentially. So that could be a steal. They picked up a left winger, Ryan Roderick. I don't know how the hell you say his name, at 35. Again, supposed to be a pretty good player. Both of them are going to be at the developmental camp, I think is this week here in Chicago. And then they had a third rounder, which they picked a defenseman. Then they did not have a pick all the way until the 7th round where they picked up another defenseman, and then they picked up a center. So they also now have $33 million under the cap. So the question now becomes, what do the Blackhawks do in free agency to help Connor Bedard? Because they also need to sign Bedard this summer because his first entry-level contract expired. So this is the summer that they need to sign him. Now they do have control over him for, I think, the next 2 years. So any free agent offer sheet that he would potentially be signed by another team, the Hawks have the opportunity to match it. So he's not unrestricted just yet, and hopefully they lock him up this summer, and then they go from there. But that's your Blackhawks update. So there you go. Hopefully you found what you were looking for, and let's talk music.
Well, I did not find what I was looking for. James Hetfield is not on this list. So.
Oh, well then screw it.
Yeah. But thank you for the hockey update. Forgot about the Carolina Hurricanes and the Golden Knights. That was a great series.
It was a great series. Absolutely. And how about, was it Jordan Stahl? Is it Jordan Stahl? I forget which Stahl brother. I think it's Jordan Stahl winning the Conn Smythe Trophy at age 37. Pretty cool.
Yeah, crazy. That one goal he had where he's falling down was crazy.
Yeah.
Talk about being lucky.
Yeah, no kidding. So congrats to the Hurricanes.
Yep.
Well deserved.
Okay. So James Hetfield is not on this list.
Okay.
You have other guess?
Prince.
Prince. Yes, he's on this list. He averages 80 unique words per 1,000.
Okay.
And so the range on this goes from, let me bring up this, is basically from 66 to 100 is sort of like the bottom rank. So that's definitely the bottom rank. And then there is one artist that falls into the 201 to 225 rank with 217 unique words.
Oh my God.
Per 1,000. There's only one.
Okay.
And it is a female artist. Oh, Madonna was there when I was supposed to look it up, right?
Yeah.
Madonna is not on this list.
Okay, so the one that falls in the 200 range is a female?
Yep.
Is it modern or?
No. Would have been in the 70s.
In the 70s. Well, now, is she a lead singer for a band or is she her own deal?
I believe she was her own deal. I got to look it up. She might have been part of some bands, but I think she's primarily like her own self.
Is that like we talking like a Linda Ronstadt type?
Let's see. Linda.
I'm trying to think of female singers from the 70s.
More of like a New York punk rocker type.
New York punk rock female. Joan Jett? No, it's not. She's 80s.
And she's not on this list either. So these are the elite, the people who have way more.
Yeah, I probably won't come up with this. So go ahead.
All right, it's Patti Smith.
Okay.
So she has the biggest vocabulary range for her lyrics. 217 unique words per 1,000. Early 70s.
Fact about Patti Smith. You ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
She was once to be considered as a replacement lead singer for Van Halen. And I can't remember if it was after David Lee Roth or if it was after Sammy Hagar. I think it was after Sammy Hagar.
Okay.
So that would have changed rock and roll a lot, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, no kidding. Well, she's the number one.
Okay.
I will tell you in the next tier down, these are 176 to 200 unique words per 1,000. You've got Jim Morrison, Bjork, and Joni Mitchell.
Okay. Heard of all three of them.
And then the top modern star. Any guess of who that might be? Another female.
Another female? Rihanna.
No. Rihanna is... Let's see if she's on this list. She is 87 words. So a relative dumbass compared to Patti Smith.
T Swift.
Taylor is also in the bottom. I remember seeing her name. She's at 86 words.
So it's a female, modern.
Definitely well known.
Lady
she has
Gaga.
a couple good songs. Lady Gaga's on the list, but she is not the top one. Lady Gaga is at 103 words.
Okay.
This singer has 169 words.
Lead singer of a band or by herself?
Just by herself. I mean, technically it's a good way, but technically it's her and her brother. But she's the singer, and she's the name.
Her and her brother.
Her brother's name is Phineas.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank, man. No, I don't know.
Billie Eilish.
Okay. I'll admit, I don't follow a lot of Billie Eilish in my...
She's got a couple good songs.
Yeah?
Yeah. Let's see.
I know she's very popular.
Yeah, popular. Let's see. And so this is the first one where you start to get a bunch of names. You got Tom York, Shakira, Paul Rogers, Lizzo, Johnny Cash, Harry Styles, Bonnie Raitt, Don Everly, Hank Williams, and Billie Eilish. It's sort of like that next tier down.
Boy, that's a little bit of everything right there.
Right? Yep. And then there's like 150 other people on this list. So name an artist and I'll tell you if they're, I mean, you've already named a couple, but I'll work my way from the top down. You've got people like Roy Orbison, Morrissey, David Bowie.
Yeah.
Steve Winwood.
Steve Winwood.
Neil Young.
Of Traffic fame, Steve Winwood.
Chris Stapleton, Kurt Cobain, Chuck Berry, Freddie Mercury.
Interesting.
Next tier down, you got Kelly Clarkson, Kesha, Adele, Lady Gaga, Bruce Springsteen, Jagger, Bruno Mars, Katy Perry, Van Morrison, Ed Sheeran, Stevie Nicks.
So what do you judge? What do you think this judges? Do you think it judges creativity? I mean,
I think it does to some degree, but also maybe to some degree songwriting skill to be able to put together a song that has a wide vocabulary and it's not just, trying to rhyme and different key phrases over and over again. Yeah.
I wonder, I mean, I've never done it. I wonder how it's got to be hard to just dream up a song with lyrics and then put music to it and all that. I mean, that's a skill. That's like a real skill. So
yeah, absolutely. Do you know who Jason Derulo is?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so he beat out Taylor Swift by 2 words per 1,000. And the top comment on Reddit is this: the fact that Jason Derulo beat Taylor Swift by 2 words per 1,000, and those 2 words were likely Jason Derulo, is galaxy levels of funny. Because immediately I was like, oh yeah, every song he yells out his name.
He does yell out his name a lot. I did know that. That's funny.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I think creativity, songwriting ability. It's so funny because some of these, you especially in. I always think about it like in rap because some of these rap dudes, they just don't look like they're very intelligent and all that stuff. But it's like, man, they come up with this stuff and it's like, it's pretty creative.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I think you can also somewhat tell like this is an area where AI is going to have an impact as well. Is it's a lot easier now to rhyme things and people who don't have that skill. But it's also, I think there's still an opportunity to you still get creative with it, right? You can kind of almost tell like the formula that's out there already. And so like a lot of like pop artists, right? They don't have wide vocabularies. They're singing the same shit over and over again.
Well, it's funny.
And they're lyrically not interesting.
Yeah. And it's like you've noticed from way back. Well, back in the 80s, there was a definite formula. It was stanza 1, stanza 2, guitar solo, stanza 3. And that was it, and it was the same formula or same recipe for just about every hit song from that era. Why? Because it worked for whatever reason, but that's how it was. And nowadays it's not near that. So,
well, I think there is still like a formula for a popular pop song. It's kind of like the same type of things. It's a ABA, is it BCA, BCB format, something like that. And if you like listen, like there's lots of like videos you can find where it's like everybody's using the same chords and like there's not a lot of musical diversity.
For me, I hear it a lot in the drums. There's a lot of very similar drum parts especially in rock songs. Very similar patterns. And I think that's why a lot of these drummers can flip-flop bands like no tomorrow and just, okay, so-and-so's become the drummer of this band. Oh, we've got a show in 5 days. Okay, cool. And they're ready. Because I think a lot of it's the same. And there's some drummers out there that are members of multiple bands. The name Josh Freese comes to mind. That guy is in so many different bands right now. It's crazy. And he's worked with just about every big name imaginable. Like
Dave
I
Grohl's
know
up there too.
Yeah. Was Josh Freese, like he's the drummer for 9 Inch Nails. He's also been the drummer of Devo for like the past 15 years. And he's also the drummer for A Perfect Circle, which is the guy from Tool. Yeah. Tool. So, these guys just have multiple gigs, and because I think it's all similar styles of music.
So here we go. Pop question.
Okay.
If I said, what is your most recognizable drum, not necessarily solo, but drum beat to get a song started? Gun to your head, what's one that immediately comes to mind? And I think just drums. Drum start, and then the song plays. Because I've got one that always pops to my head.
The one that pops in my head that is easily the most recognizable for me, and it's very simple, is just the beginning of Back in Black by AC/DC.
It's a good one. Mine is Gone Away, Offspring.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Immediately within the first, few drum hits, like, okay, know what's coming.
Yeah, you know what it is. Yep.
Okay, that's all I got.
Interesting.
I think that covers everything on my list.
Well, we're an hour and 41 minutes in. So yeah. I got one thing, and because we covered kind of what you were talking about, what I was talking about. So I want to talk about the morality of the NFL. So the Buffalo Bills are building their new stadium, and they have made the decision to keep OJ Simpson, any reference to OJ Simpson, out of that stadium.
Oh, okay.
So OJ, obviously Hall of Famer. He's the first member of the Bills Hall of Fame. Arguably the greatest season a running back ever had, rushed for 2,000 yards in only 14 games. 5-time Pro Bowler, led the league in rushing 4 times. Obviously, all this obviously took place before he went whatever, psycho.
If he did it.
So they've decided, the Bills have decided to completely take away anything. He's not going to be a member of the new Ring of Honor. He's not going to be mentioned in the new Hall of Fame that they have at the stadium. None of that. The guy, I'm not saying it was the right decision, but the guy was found innocent in the court of law of what he was accused of. So my question to you is, do you think the Bills are right to do this? And if they are, do you think the NFL should pull him out of the NFL Hall of Fame? And if you believe so, do you believe that there are other players that are kind of not necessarily close to OJ's level as to what he was accused of? There's one other player who is, but there are other NFL Hall of Famers who have had major issues with the law. Should they be pulled out of the Hall of Fame?
Who's the other player that you're thinking of?
Ray Lewis.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like this is a federal government, state government thing. Each is free to do what they want. If the team doesn't want to do it, they don't have to do it. So I guess I don't necessarily have a problem with it, because I see this is a business decision by the Bills. They don't want to be associated with that. If that means giving up, the name OJ and the good that came along with it, as well as the bad, so be it.
Because, he's arguably the greatest Buffalo Bill that ever played. and they're willing to just wipe him out, wipe him off the map.
Are there things that are so egregious that they nullify your legacy?
I guess it's kind of a gray area, right? Because obviously the Hall of Fame, should you be held accountable for what you did off the field along with what you did on the field. Because let's move to baseball and compare Pete Rose versus what OJ did. Pete Rose was, accused and eventually proven that he was guilty of gambling. Mm-hmm. Now, granted, he gambled within the game, so there is a little bit of a difference. But Pete Rose was thrown out of baseball. Even though Pete Rose passed away, still has not been allowed back in. Still has not been allowed to even been put in the Hall of Fame, even though he's the all-time hit leader. And there is precedence for guys in baseball that have been accused of gambling. Mickey Mantle and Willie Mays, for example, who were tossed out of the game, but then were reinstated and then immediately put into the Hall of Fame. So I guess, again, Ray Lewis, indicted for murder and aggravated assault, was found innocent and is now in the Hall of Fame as well. And most people forget what Ray Lewis was accused of and all that kind of thing. You also have Michael Irvin, major drug issues. Lawrence Taylor, major drug issues. Both of those dudes were also accused of sexual assault. In fact, Lawrence Taylor was found guilty of hanging out with an underage prostitute and sexual misconduct. He's still in the Hall of Fame. So I guess my question to you is, should guys off the field things come into play when determining if they are Hall of Fame or not?
This is not just sports, right? It's everything. You've got
kind of
Bill Cosby, right? All the drama around that. Michael Jackson, same thing. Like, do you separate the art from the artist? Do you separate the performer from everything? And I think, as these are private institutions, they can do whatever the hell they want. If being a representative, is important to somebody, they know what the rules are. They went ahead and broke them. Whether they broke it after the fact or not, in my mind, doesn't really matter. They're still representing whatever it is they're representing. So in this case, OJ, I don't know the guy. I mean, obviously, kind of all in the story, he was found, found not guilty criminally, but was found guilty civilly.
Yes.
But he chose to do whatever he did. Whether he did it or not doesn't kind of matter. I mean, but that is part of the responsibility of those players or the artist or whatever. I mean, you've seen Bill Cosby's taken a huge hit, right? And then super popular comedian, and you end up with the same thing. Louis C.K., same issue, right?
Yeah.
Do you separate the artist from the artist, and is the crime recoverable? Meaning, can you get past it and sort of figure it out? I think there are levels of crime or whatever it is that, that has pissed off people, where either if you've been canceled, can you be uncanceled? I think so, but it depends on what you've done.
What you've done since.
What you've done, and also how you've handled whatever that thing was.
Because I feel like the Ray Lewis thing was just kind of
swept under the rug.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You don't hear anybody talking about it now.
No. And you didn't hear a whole lot of people even talking about it, a year or two after it happened.
Yeah. And now that's just good PR, or maybe there wasn't enough of a case. I mean,
yeah, I don't know.
Or maybe there was, I don't know. But in reality, I think it's the perception that matters. And so in the eyes of the NFL, he's done the right things regardless. He has not been found guilty of anything. And so, and he's at least on camera, a personable, likable, sort of, representative of the sport.
Well, obviously, yeah. I mean, he had a great career, and obviously he was regarded as one of the best linebackers of all time, one of the best leaders of all time. And, I mean, he's, still relevant in the game today as far as, speaking on the game and, all that. Let's be honest. The NFL is not full of choir boys, right?
Right. I was going to say, I'm sure there are a lot of pieces of shit everywhere.
Yeah.
That if the public only knew.
Oh, I'm sure there's a ton of that. I mean, God only knows how many gun possessions and
right. Every team. I mean, Lance Briggs and him wrapping his car, whatever it was. Like that's weird. Like, what were you doing?
Who's the Bears receiver? Sam Hurd.
Sam Hurd, the drug guy,
the drug kingpin who was catching passes for the Bears. There's a lot. Man, it's tough because I guess if you're the NFL commissioner and ideally you want, guys with high moral compass playing your game and representing your league and all that stuff. But let's be honest, these dudes, as good of athletes as they are, you look from where a lot of them come from, they come from nothing. And unfortunately, crime is part of their background.
Even the ones that come from something. Look at Manziel.
Johnny Manziel for sure.
Yeah. Everybody has, they get influenced and tainted around this, and it's like, okay, either they survive it or they don't.
Yeah.
And there's people on both sides of it. I think ultimately it's a team and a league decision depending on how they want to do that. And even the Pro Football Hall of Fame, is that a NFL institution or is that a separate thing?
That's a great question.
Because I don't know. I've been there. It's cool, but I don't know if it's like an actual NFL institution.
That's a great question because I know the Basketball Hall of Fame is not just NBA. It's basketball. Baseball. I think baseball. I don't know if it's affiliated with MLB, but I think
it
MLB
is not.
Yeah,
it is a standalone, independent, not for profit. It's a 501c3 charity.
Oh, there you go. And I don't know about the Hockey Hall of Fame. I don't know about the Football Hall of Fame. So
I think these are independent organizations that can do what they want. They choose who they want to represent their brand. If the Bills are trying to market themselves as a family-friendly, friendly thing, and I think this was like the family circle, right? Kind of hard to put, problematic people in that, no matter what they've done. Whether it's him or Aaron Hernandez goes off and kills somebody, or all the things Lawrence Taylor had. You talk about, was it Darren Sharper had something to do with some problems in multiple states, obviously Ray Rice.
I remember Ray Rice. Yep.
Michael Vick and the dogfighting thing.
Yeah, boy, his candidacy for the Hall of Fame is an interesting one because he had a really good career once he came back. I mean, he changed the game basically on how to play quarterback. Never won anything to my knowledge, but he was something else. And look at him now; he's coaching college football, which is crazy to me.
But he's done the right things, right? As a dog person, I think what he did was awful. But I think some of that is, the environment that you're brought up in and what's taught to be okay or not. But he's done the right things, at least publicly, to try to recover from that. I don't know if everyone has forgiven him, but he's definitely not blackballed, right? To any degree.
No, not at all. Not at all.
I mean, he came back to the NFL. He played for the Eagles.
Yeah, and it was good.
And now, like I said, now he's coaching in college. So, great. Learned a lesson, paid his dues or whatever he had to do. And
because he went to jail, didn't he?
I think so, but I don't think it was like anything.
I don't think it was very long.
Yeah.
But I think he did go to jail. How about that OJ thing? Was 32 years ago when that Bronco was rolling down the highway. 1994. I was
driving past Louis Joliet Mall on my way back from Joliet Junior College for something. And one of the few times that I went to class.
I was going to say, I actually cut a class when the verdict came down. I'm like, I can't go to class. I got to hear this on the radio. So, wild.
Yeah. So I don't care. At the end of the day, private business is going to do what it wants. If they don't want to be associated with a player and a player is deemed unrecoverable, so be it. Now, there's nothing that says in 15, 20, 30 years, 100 years, things change. But as of right now, they've decided that he is not fit for the brand that they're trying to build in this fresh start in this stadium, and I get it.
So you just erase the fact that he even existed as a Buffalo Bill in the stadium.
I don't think you erase it. I think you elect not to highlight him is the difference.
That's fair. Yeah.
He still exists. He is still a great player. He did awful things, and we're just going to leave it at that.
We're not going to throw him in
Allegedly.
the Ring of Honor. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah.
What didn't he write the book? If I Did It?
That was the joke. It's like, if I did it, like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, talk about not doing the right things afterwards to rehab your image.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No
like
thing.
That's not the way to do it.
Well, then what? He had his memorabilia stolen, and then
and then he went and robbed those people, and that's what he actually got busted for.
Yeah, went and robbed him back, and then he actually went to jail for that.
Yeah, just such a weird, not way to approach things.
What a life that guy lived! Holy cow! Heisman Trophy winner in college. My dad has his autograph.
Really?
My dad has a poster of, at the time, all of the Heisman Trophy winners from USC, and he was because he's a big USC fan, and I think there were 5 of them, and all 5 of them signed the poster that he got.
That's
so,
cool.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, man, that thing's got to be worth some money. So, you got an OJ signature on there? Yeah, no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, so like I said, I don't think you erase it. I think you choose not to highlight it in that case.
That's a fair assessment.
But I think you can do that for anything.
Yeah.
Again, I think it just comes down to, is the crime recoverable from whatever the crime is in quotation mark. Sometimes you're just an asshole. People don't like you, and it's like, whatever.
That's very true. So, last thing, Jeff, I got. What's the date today? It is June 28th.
June 28th.
June 28th. Chicago White Sox are in a tie for first place in the American League Central as of right now.
Crazy.
2 years ago, they lost 120 games and won, I think, 40? They won 40 games. It went 40 and 122, if I'm not mistaken. And they've already won, I think it's 43 games.
So what does this do to? Are they actually good? Are they playing to the level of their opponents and everyone's just kind of middling? Like, what is I'm looking at the standings, and they're a plus 18 right now for run differential.
Well, and what's funny about that is they're a plus 18 because they beat a team Friday night 22-1. That's the only reason they're that high.
I love that story. That's great.
Yeah. So,
but there's only 6 teams in the American League that are a plus right now.
The National League is definitely dominating, the numbers as far as, teams that are
Dodgers
better
are
than
plus
the American
152.
League.
Jeez.
Yeah. Dodgers are still dodgering, if you will. I watched the game they destroyed San Diego last night. But anyway,
did I see they won what was the game? They won 22 to something?
The Sox did. The Sox beat
did.
Kansas City 22-1 on Friday night.
I saw that, and I saw the headline. I'm like, oh yeah, Jay's going to talk about that Sunday.
So you know what? I just think that they have a bunch of young guys. They've had, I think it's 13 different players make their major league debut this year. And I think that it's just a new energy, decent.
They
young
don't know
players.
They're not supposed to be good.
Yeah, they just they've got nothing to lose, and they do play in a very competitive but not all that great division overall. So I think that helps them. I think if you put them obviously in the Yankees division, or if you put them in the American League West, I don't think they're near the top. But they've played well, and their young guys are producing. They do need some help with some pitching, but they compete like crazy, which is awesome. Actually, Michelle and I went to the game Monday night where they won, I think it was 6-5 in 10 innings. And it's like they wouldn't quit. And for all you people that, make fun of the Sox for attendance, 23,000 on a Monday night. So, and I think they're averaging close to 25,000 a game right now, which proves you put a decent product on the field, people show up.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Decent product, good product, people will show up for it. And support it.
And it's
and
not
you should not show up when they're not a good product.
Exactly. It's not one of those, okay, we'll go and then bank on the fact that you're eventually going to put a product on the field. No, you put the product on the field, we will come to the game. So It was a bitch to get there. I will tell you that, but that's something they need to work on, but it was fun. We had a blast. It was cool. So
I haven't been to a game in a long time. I know we got some family members coming to Chicago next week, and they're going to the Cubs game Wednesday during the day.
Okay. Yeah.
And then we're going to meet for pizza, Pequods, or something like that.
Wrigley's always a great time. Wrigley's awesome.
But yeah, I have no desire to go to a baseball game, especially not during the day and not when it's like 100 degrees outside.
Well, I wouldn't want to go this week.
So I'm not interested in that.
Yeah, that's fair.
There was something so I assume you know who Jacob Misiorowski is? 105
miles an hour. Yes, yeah. I do know who the Miz is.
Okay. So this was something I saw the other day as well on Reddit. The 240 fastest pitches thrown by MLB starters this year. And the Miz, as you say, has 239 of the 240.
It's crazy how hard that guy throws.
Do you know who the other person is?
I would have no idea who the other guy is.
No guess?
No.
Shohei Ohtani.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
But I know Misiorowski became the fourth guy in the history of the MLB to throw a ball 105 miles an hour.
That's fast.
That is fast as hell.
I could never throw that fast. I think maybe I threw 50, maybe 60.
Yeah.
Like obviously baseball is never my thing to begin with, but I can't fathom how you're able to throw a ball so fast. Is it arm strength? Is it technique? It's got to be both. These are not guys with giant, arms.
No, I think a lot of it. If you look at a pitcher who throws hard, he will have thighs like logs.
So the strength comes from the leg.
A lot of it comes out of your leg. Yes, your back leg. So if a right-handed pitcher, it's going to be your right leg. You just push off that mound. And then it is how fast can you bring the shoulder through and how hard can you, eventually how much torque can your elbow take? And you just whip that thing and then it comes out of your wrist. And yeah, it's crazy how hard these guys throw with how close they are standing. I mean, they're only 60 feet away.
Yeah.
And in today's game, you have less than a tenth of a second to decide if you're swinging or not. Most difficult thing to do in all of sports is to hit a baseball and hit a round ball with a round bat.
And drive it into a 90-degree arc in front of you.
And hit it hard. It hard. It's incredible.
Yeah, well, I don't like it because I can't play it, so I think it sucks.
And I coach 14-year-olds who are playing at the same distance that these major league guys play.
And what are they throwing?
A really good pitcher at that age is probably 75.
All right, so I can't throw as good as a 14-year-old.
I can't either. Dude, today I caught a ground ball, foul ball, barehanded. I was like, yeah. And they're like, hey, throw it back in. I one-hopped the pitcher, for Christ's sake. I can't throw anymore.
You walked it to them?
Yeah, I should have, because my arm is completely done. It is toast.
Well, look, you're a man of advanced age. And that's
and I've thrown hundreds.
I have noticed my knees have been starting to go. My knees have really been bothering me for the last couple of weeks. I don't know what's going on, but I think that's just, I don't know, age. And that sucks.
Getting old sucks, dude. Yeah. It is awful.
I still have that torn calf muscle. Did I tell you about that? Chasing the dog up the hill. Yeah, that's still bother. That's fun. When I was trying to lift a 70-pound piece of luggage with full of camera gear, and I push off my left foot, and the left calf goes. I feel it pop again. I'm like, oh, you gotta be kidding me! And of course, I'm in the airport, and I'm like, is this how we're gonna start Vegas? Really?
Yeah. No, I had to throw today, and then we were playing a field today where the dugouts were in the ground, so it's like 5 steps down into the ground at this college place, and I took 1 step down the stairs, and I honest to God thought I had a Charley horse in my hamstring. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. But luckily it did not come to fruition. But you know how sometimes, do you ever get Charley horses in your hamstrings ever?
No, not really. I've been pretty good about that.
Well, every once in a while I'll get one, and it's like it just grabs you and just takes a hold of your hamstring and just starts to twist it, and it is absolutely awful. And I thought I was going to have one today, and I would have face planted right on the ground had I blown a tire like that. But luckily, it did not happen. So thank God. But now I've got to the point where it's like I know it's coming. It's like, oh, just straighten the leg out and it's fine. But yeah, that could have been bad. But yeah, getting old sucks. I can't throw, and I hate
or walk apparently.
yeah, I guess not.
You're gonna be Professor X in like your wheelchair, and
I'm gonna be
wheeling out to third or first base coach.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna be patient zero at the ER after a couple innings. So yeah, but
yeah,
all good.
All right, man. We covered a lot of ground. 2 hours and 5 minutes.
We did. We
haven't talked in a while. So
we had a lot to catch up on.
Yeah.
So
I think next week we'll have to take next week off because I think I'll be flying back next Sunday night. So
yeah, it's what, 5th of July. So
yeah, July 5th.
4th of July.
So maybe sometime during the week or something. July 6th or 7th.
I am coaching in our men's league all-star game.
Ooh.
On
Congratulations.
Sunday. Well, it's kind of cool. I mean, I know we're about done here, but we're actually 4 of the Chicagoland men's leagues are coming together to play this like round robin tournament type deal. So we're actually putting a team together from the 10 teams in our league. And our team is, because we're in first place, we get to coach it. So me and the guy that I coach with are going to coach that game. So
that's cool.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. That'll be fun.
When is that?
Next Sunday.
Next Sunday. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good luck. We can recap it.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, man. Well, good luck. And yeah, we'll talk in whenever the next time is.
Yeah, safe travels. Enjoy Chicago. It's going to be hot, but yeah.
Hot. Yeah, that's why I'm hopefully going to be indoors as much as possible.
Nice.
All right, dude. I'll see you.
I'll talk to you later.